Morning, dear children. Welcome to YouTube channel Academia Ambala. Today I, Mrs. Madhu Singh, am going to take explanation of poem from Flamingo. The name of the poem is Keeping Quiet. Yes, children, keeping quiet. It doesn't mean that just shut your mouth. No, it's much more deeper than that. The poem is written by Pablo Neruda. He is known by his pen name, that's Pablo Neruda. Otherwise, his real name is Ricardo Alicia Neftali Reyes Basalto. He was a Nobel Prize winning diplomat and a politician as well, apart from being a poet. When he was just 13 years old, he wrote in a variety of styles, which included surrealist poems, historical epics, political manifestos, a prose autobiography, and passionate love poems. He won the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1971. The text of Keeping Quiet has been sent to you in PDF, hence we will straightway go on to the theme. The poem highlights the need of silence and quiet introspection. It talks about creating mutual understanding and how we can analyze the wrongdoings. The poet also throws light on the importance of quietude, as he says that we should continue with positive attitude and should not ruminate over death. The highlight of the poem. It's an anti-war poem. He talks about violence. He talks about cruelty to animals. He also talks about plight of manual workers. And then the poet offers a simple solution, that is self-introspection. After that, analyze what is wrong and who is the wrongdoer, because this will help in cleansing every heart and ennoble all people. The explanation of the poem. The poet asks us to be still and he will count up to 12. Now why is it 12? 12 can be 12 months or it can be 12 hours. So when we are still, he asks us, we should not do any activity or speak any language, because it's only when we are all quiet that moment would be exotic and extraordinary, because we are not in a rush, we are still, we are quiet, and then a strange quietude will bind us all. When we all sit back and analyze about our actions, then only there can be a change. Fishermen who catch whales for livelihood in the cold sea do not realize that they are not only cruel to them but are harming the sea life. Then people who are always gathering salt will pause and look at their hurt hands and will allow them to heal. Now this is fisherman at the sea and the whale. Little does he realize that he is not only endangering the animal but also disturbing the environment. And this is a family gathering salt. As you know, salt cuts into your hands, so it's only when the person who has always been working hard will stop doing that, will he allow his hands to heal. All kinds of war, the poet further says that all kinds of wars should be stopped, because any war leads to destruction. Green wars, which lead to destruction of environment. Then wars with firearms, that is against other nations, when we use poisonous gases, etc. Everything should be stopped, because a war can never bring happiness. It can never construct anything. It causes only destruction and leaves no survivors. So let all these people who have been indulged in wars, let them think about their actions and the outcome of their actions, because they have to bring a change in their thinking. They have to make sure that they walk with everyone. They walk by the side of every other person, carrying the message of peace and brotherhood. Now, this is our planet Earth, and look at the amount of destruction that we have caused. Look at the plastic. Look how the sea and everything is choking. This is war against another country. So, war is not, the victory is not leading you to anything good. It's leading to only destroyed buildings and dead people. This is another picture of war against environment. When we indiscriminately cut down the trees, this is beautiful mangroves which have been destroyed by the human greed, and this directly affects our environment and thus affects our life. So the poet further says that please do not misunderstand him. What he is asking is he's to be still. He's not asking them to be inactive, because life is all about ongoing process. Life is all about to be lived with positive attitude. Inactivity means death. The poet does not want any association with anything that is dead. Death is destruction, whereas life is constructive. He says that if we stop thinking only about ourselves, if we stop being selfish, and if we introspect about our actions, then all unhappiness can be removed from our lives, because we are hastening our death by our negative actions, as we are always racing in life. He asks us to self-introspect, to meditate, because if we do that, that positivity will bring about a change in our thinking. The poet at the end says, we can learn from Mother Earth. Like a seed which is always buried in the soil, but it is waiting for the right weather to sprout. So during those months when it is lying latent in the earth appears dead, but it is not. It is not barren, because then comes the rain, the life, and all the unborn seeds, they sprout beautifully, and the earth springs into life. Similarly, stillness is not inactivity. Stillness is stillness in our wrong actions, stillness in our wrong activities, and introspection which will bring desired change in life. He finally says, I will count up to 12, and thereafter all of you please bring about a change in your life. And this is the beautiful picture of a seed sprouting. See the color, what happiness you get by looking at this picture, and those previous pictures, how they arouse those negative sentiments in you. So, like this seed, all of us should learn from life that we are to give something good to the society. We should stop our wrong actions and be positive and helpful towards others. The literary devices in the poem. Children, there is alliteration. We will, we would. Hurt hands, clean clothes. Then there is repetition. Without rush, without engines. Let's not speak. Let's stop for a second. And there is, of course, metaphor. Put on clean clothes. That is, give up violence. Walk in the shade means have positive thinking, have feeling of peace, brotherhood. Imagery. Imagery is of cold sea, which directly relates to insensitivity. Then there is personification. The earth has been personified, bringing to life. Let's learn from earth. And finally, there is symbolism. Symbolism of counting to 12. And as Aristotle said, knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. And that is what perhaps Pablo Neruda also talked about when he said that let's introspect and then everything will fall into place. Shh. Quiet, please. Thank you, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.